Welcome back to Go Local Live. We're here now with Patricia Morgan. She's a Republican candidate for governor. She's here to talk about a very hot button issue here in Rhode Island today, and getting a lot of press, debates, and the lack thereof.
Lack of debates.
So there's been some issues on both sides of the aisle, both from Democrats and Republicans, about the lack of debates. We're not too far out from the primaries.
Yeah, it's time.
And we haven't seen.
Rhode Island has had a history of having primary debates and general election debates as far back as I remember, and I've been involved with the Republican Party. I've been politically active since maybe 1998. So I've been watching, and we have always had debates. And this year, Gina Raimondo and Alan Fung have decided, well, no, they're not going to debate. It's a cynical and deceitful political maneuver that is not good for the people of Rhode Island, and we shouldn't tolerate it. So I am demanding that they do debates.
And so yeah,
that Alan Fung for sure does debates.
You heard it here. And so debates they're a good way to kind of suss out the specific issues of where you lay on certain issues, and it's a good way for the people to become educated, especially before primary day, when you're voting within your own party, to help decide who really aligns with your issues the most.
Absolutely, and that is exactly why we have debates. We want, and I want, an informed electorate. I don't think my opponent does, because if you look at his track record since he has declared, which was last October, he has actually not given a press conference. He didn't even give a press conference the night that he declared. So he has stepped away from the press. He's been asked, repeatedly. There's over a dozen things that issues that he's been asked about, and he's always no comment. And the few things that he has commented on, well, he's been on both sides of the issue. For instance, pro-life. I think everyone knows I'm pro-life. And I'm not afraid to say it. He has said he's pro-choice, and then he's muddled it up so that people are confused and think he's pro-life. You can't be on both sides of that issue. The gun issue. I've actually been a gun owner since I was 12. I had a .22. We used to go in the backyard, all the kids did, and we would shoot tin cans. I was a mean tin can killer. But I just believe in all of our constitutional rights, and the Second Amendment is one of those. On the other hand, the only official act that Alan Fung has ever taken is to propose a resolution and then to vote for a resolution to restrict gun ownership. On top of that, he actually had a campaign revelation that he likes guns, and he went out and he went shooting in his dress clothes and tie. So, he is, but he isn't. You can't be that. The people of Rhode Island need us to be honest with them, forthright with them, tell them what we believe. I think everyone in Rhode Island must know what I believe in, because I've been pretty bold colors. I've been down in that State House for 8 years. I have had to ask the questions in the committees. I've debated. I've voted. People know who I am, I think, at this point. And I'm happy to let them know, because I think the things that I believe in, my values, the principles that I base my decisions on, will make Rhode Island a better state for everybody to live in.
And so why do you think your opponent, Alan Fung, why do you think he hasn't come forward and strongly declared where he stands on these key issues that you've mentioned?
One, that he doesn't respect the voters, and two, that he's trying to hide from them. Right now he's a blank slate. So everybody can say, oh, yeah, he believes like me, or he believes like me. They could be on opposite sides of the issues. But because he hasn't defined himself, but maybe he's doing it because if he actually got in a debate, people would understand how woefully unprepared he is to govern Rhode Island. He doesn't have the knowledge base. He doesn't have the experience at the state level. I don't believe that he even has the principles that I believe, the common sense principles that I've based my life and my work in the State House on. I don't even think he knows what they are. I believe it's more about personal ambition with him and the governor, quite frankly, than it is about serving the people of Rhode Island. And in a debate, that will become very clear.
And so you said, of course, it does a disservice to the voters to not have the ability for debates, but do you think it does a disservice to other candidates as well? It doesn't, if there's no debate, there's no opportunity for you to really put forth your platform
Right.
in a concise way.
Yeah. A couple of weeks ago, Alan came out and said, I'm 40 points ahead of Morgan. Totally untrue. We ran our own poll. I'm within striking distance of him. In fact, within the margin of error for those people who are most likely to vote in the primary. But if he was that far ahead of me, wouldn't he go on? Because even if he flubs one question or two questions, it's not going to hurt him that much. So I think it reveals the fact that he wasn't telling the truth. But yeah, it is a disservice to everybody who's put their name in the race. And I say that for Matt Brown on the other side as well. His ideas deserve to be heard. This state doesn't belong to Alan Fung or Gina Raimondo. It belongs to the people who live here. And the people who live here have the right to understand what every candidate brings to the table and whether they want that person actually leading the state. I think my common sense principles, the conservative Republican principles like free markets, limited government, I think they will make Rhode Island a better place. I think I'm the change agent here. I'm not going to go along to get along. I am actually going to do what I've been doing for 8 years, is taking on the hard challenges, fighting for average people in their homes to move our state forward. Everybody deserves to have financial security. And our state used to be a prosperous state, and we can be again.
And so talking a little bit, you touched on Matt Brown and Governor Raimondo as well. What prerogative would she have to avoid a debate?
None. Matt is a credible candidate. His ideas deserve to be heard. This is another candidate who wants to hide and wants to hide who she is. She doesn't want to have to answer those inconvenient questions, and she's got a lot of inconvenient questions. I mean, there's UHIP, there's DCYF, you can name them. The latest one is the traffic court, the DMV, I guess. So she has a lot of inconvenient questions, and I think she doesn't want to be inconvenienced by them. But it's important for people to listen to her answers, to see what they think about her. In her own words, absolutely, she needs to debate, Alan needs to debate. They're not the anointed. They don't get to be anointed governor. It is a vote of the people in our state. To me, Alan's been playing that Clinton playbook, right? Tell everybody you're the front runner, get everybody to echo it, don't take any press conferences, don't answer any questions, just raise the money, and boom, you get to be governor, in her case president, but it didn't work. And it shouldn't work in this case either. They are being cynical, and they are not respecting voters. They need to debate.
And so there was, excuse me, there was some discussion from Fung's campaign about several media outlets have said they've extended opportunities to have a debate, but there was some discussion from his campaign saying that he was willing to do one, I believe it was on AM radio. Mm-hmm. And what are your thoughts on that? Will you be taking part?
Yeah, absolutely. I agreed to that. That was John DePietro on WNRI. Listen, John DePietro has an audience. They need to hear us. But that's not enough. We know that's not enough. It doesn't reach, I think it reaches down to Providence, but it doesn't reach the whole state. The whole state needs to hear us. So I readily agreed to that. In fact, I've agreed to every debate that has been proposed to us. Alan needs to debate in all the forums. So here, if you guys want to host a debate, I think you should host a debate, and we should be here. Every TV station needs to have the opportunity. Rhode Island Public Radio does, WPRO. Really, the people of the state, every media outlet, different people watch them. So everybody, to have all of them have a debate or some kind of a forum is good. We do want educated voters. We want them to understand what we believe in. Because when we answer, when we give our opinions, it informs people about how we'll govern the state. I think that's important.
That's true. There's no other real way to know where you really stand on things besides, there's campaign events and press releases, but those are very prepared but a debate really lets you get down to the nitty-gritty of how you're going to address the big issues.
It does. It's an unscripted, but there is no better way to reach the people of our state than through the media. You do it online, which is incredible, because the new generation tends to do it your way. But there are all different kinds of media outlets. There is no better way to keep people informed about what's happening in our state. Its advantages, what things are we're suffering from, how we can come up with solutions, problems, benefits, all that. There is no better way. We always say that we want a robust, or what are you, the fourth estate?
Yes.
A fourth estate, which means you watch the rest of us. I think it's important.
Absolutely.
And in this case, an election, we need you to watch the election too.
Absolutely. So my final question is a simple one. Do you think there will be a debate both between yourself and Alan Fung and between Matt Brown and the governor? Do you think it will come through before the primary?
I don't know. I don't know at this point. Again, the one at WNRI, it's not enough. I hope that the people of Rhode Island make their opinion clear. You want debates. You want to be informed. And you want to be informed because that's democracy, and that helps us have a better democracy. So hopefully Alan will get the word, and we'll have the debates, because I'm ready.
All right, well, Alan Fung, you've been put on notice right here on GoLocal Live by Patricia Morgan. Thanks so much for taking the time to join us today. We really do appreciate it. And thank you to all of you for tuning in for this hour. We'll be back tomorrow with more news, politics, lifestyle, and everything you can look for. In the meantime, you can check out what's latest on golocalprov.com. We'll be back here tomorrow, here in the Navigate Credit Union Broadcast Center.